Warning! The following gameplay video was created by a scrub. If scrub gameplay disturbs you, stop the video now. I have to admit, using a heat shell here would be pretty funny, but... Actually, you know what? Let's try that. I want to get into close combat range and see how much damage that deals once I have my illumination shot up. Alright, I don't think anything will throw me out of close combat. I still think that not enough is... Okay, I repeat this in pretty much every video, so it's probably useless, but every time I play this game, I wish that the formulas behind things were better understood. Okay, well, that's not super amazing, but it is still very strong, especially for this machine. Oh, I should also mention that the decision on whether to aim or not also depends on whether you're aiming at squads. That's another reason that I tend to just go for default shots with the light AFWs. 70% deals plenty of damage and you're not going to actually miss. Alright, you are good to go. I think I'll have Ryoko stay where she is so that... Well, I mean, the others have not even really caught up to her. Jun probably needs to recover. Ayana definitely needs another turn. And I'm not really in a rush. Over here, though, I'm in an interesting situation. I'd rather not have Kinsato attack from long range again. So I'm gonna have him get in the way. I'm kind of interested in how things are gonna go from there. Another thing to remember is that Weizsäcker is going to be attacked from here. So I'll need to keep that in mind. But he's pretty good at absorbing that sort of thing. Especially with this new machine. And I don't have any doubts about how this is going to go. Well, walking forward delayed my shot a bit, but that's okay. I was going to wait a little bit for the squad skill anyway. Can't forget to line up that second illumination shot. Although I'm not entirely sure that the battle will even last that long. They really shouldn't have missed that. I mean, they don't really have any penalties. I guess it was just bad luck. Good luck for me, of course. And that's pretty much what I was hoping for. Now let me think about how I want to handle this. They loaded up an APC shell, which is really good news for me. Do I want to knock their shield off? Do I want to... Well, I think I'll be more or less okay. Oh no, they're gonna throw wire at me. What do I do? A follow-up from John will definitely put their squads down. And I don't mind having Weiseger take the APC shells. He can just recover in place if he has to. Although, of course, it's better if he finishes enemies off. Now, if they had infantry with some powerful anti-soldier skill, I'd be in much more trouble. Also, firing off my shot right before their flash shot is like the best thing. I don't think timing can get better than that. I think this will be fine. I recall Kinjo having pretty good armor. And I don't mind the range being pushed out a little bit. Wow. They have an idea. Are they actually moving backwards? I think they are. I think their shield has just a little bit of health left. Even so, at this rate, I might actually wipe out their recon. And the wire actually helps to keep me in place, which is kind of what I need. And that is a pathetic APC shell. That's right, I don't think they have... They're still suffering from nighttime, and that sort of thing is affected by day-night stuff. Well, base accuracy, but... How am I gonna handle this? I'll be able to load up another shot. Maybe I can disrupt them. But I can't spend too much time aiming. Things, they work out sometimes. So, you gonna move your squads forward or not? I actually don't know which squad they're going to load up next. Probably the Recon, which is bad news for me because they've got ink shrap. I was really hoping they'd move those guys forward. Then again, they might be dumb enough to load up that wounded supply squad, which would be great for me. Oh, it's because the Recon didn't have their skill back up yet. I wonder why it took them so long to charge it. This is actually a good opportunity. So these guys already have their squads removed. These guys will probably have ink trap loaded. But if I can keep Kinsato at short range, that won't be a problem. And yeah, that would be extremely favorable, because that way Weizsäcker can finish them right off. And okay, here's another thing to consider. This city has a squad in it, and if an enemy with wounded troops moves in there, the extra squad is gone. They'll take it. But if I can finish these guys off completely, the ones over here won't pose a danger because they're already completely wiped out. There's nothing to recover. And the crew is unharmed, which is great. It's weird how these details work out. And Kinsato was basically unharmed from the last fight he was in, so I can have him do this. Do I even... So... My line of thinking is... Do I need Illumination Shot? If I don't, should I load up Ink Trap instead? And I'm thinking maybe I should. Because I tend to have these guys on the ground a lot, for obvious reasons. But my infantry with rapid fire should do a pretty decent job. Or my recon. But rapid fire seems really good here. Because they're both going to have low armor. Yep, I called it. I called it. Well, mine isn't going to be very, very strong here. Huh, I guess I don't even need very high accuracy to do a lot of damage to those guys. I am rather disturbed that due to these circumstances, they aren't moving those guys forward. Okay, now they are. Now an ink trap should be able to do a lot of damage. I don't think I should even move forward. I need to load up really, really fast. My distance is fine. I don't even need to clean up the wire. Wow. I need to do that more often. And things actually worked out quite well, because I have a mechanic unit out there, and they're firing at short range. Although, actually my infantry has cleanup, and I should have moved them, because That would have been a good move, and I just moved the wrong thing back. But hey, I do silly things sometimes. I don't have high hopes for this shot. Maybe I should have. I thought I was only going to remove their squads. With that extra damage, I want to rethink my plans as soon as I get the opportunity to check the turn order. So anything beyond scouting is not going to be these two, because they're in scouting. So, Weizsäcker... Okay, John moves soon, then Weizsäcker. And it's gonna be some turns before these guys get another move. Well, even though he's taken some hits, Weizsäcker is still better at finishing things off than John is. So I'm gonna have John finish them off, and Weizsäcker finish these guys. Yeah, I think that's gonna work. And Ippei will catch up for when my guys swing around and prepare for this base over here. He definitely needs to recover. And he's on a road, so it shouldn't take too horribly long. Okay, they are moving forward. Yeah, don't let all those mountains tell you what to do. Alright. Yeah, he's definitely not in Ippei's way. Ippei can move over here, and then he'll be in a good position to take the front line. Yeah, I don't want to waste an illumination shell on this. Moro's pretty good at loading. Also, it turns out I'm not very smart. Because I have because I can use illumination shot on the ground, I should really be a bit more free with John's anti-infantry shells. Also, I should have had John set up his shot before this. Oh, right, you never got the chance to fire your ink shrap, did you? But that doesn't actually bother me too much, because, well, you've already observed how rare it is for John's squats to take any hits, especially his supply. Alright, there is one more thing I want to plan out. Ipe can move on to Weizsägger's space, and he moves first. So I think it's best for him to move up a bit. Yeah, I think that'll work out. Alright, now I need to think a little bit more. Jun still can't recover yet. So it's probably best to be conservative with my movement. On the other hand, when it is his turn again, he'll be in a great position to take on whoever's charging in. I think I'll be better off if... Oh, wait. I'll wait for this. I think I'll be better off if I keep this at short range. Main reason being that if he decides to take shots at my squads, they'll hurt less. Like that. That's what I'm thinking of. Did he just blame the sun at night again? If this misses, I'll probably have to use a maximum attack. But that's what they're here for. Whoa, what? That was some very disturbing timing right there. With that in mind, I'm definitely going to need to move Weizsägger onto the city. He's going to need to take some turns to work things out. Which means Kinsado won't be able to, but his squads aren't even damaged. Uh-oh. It's a good thing Kinsado had that distraction lined up. So where can it go from here? This is rather odd movement, actually. I don't like it. If this guy decides to go for Ipe, it's his... Or, not Ipe, but Emilio. They all look the same. If this guy goes for Emilio, it's his funeral. Everyone's ready to follow up. And I want at least one of these to attack Ryoko and have their squads removed. Although, actually, it doesn't especially matter who they fight because these are all hybrids. They can probably do the trick. And with that in mind, it might be better for Ayana to deal with them because she has E-Wire. What do they have? I just noticed that they're in scouting range. So that's repair and cleanup, but with one of them being supply and the other being mech, they're very unlikely to have both at the same time. I could technically attack right now, but that seems unwise. I think having her move one square ahead is the best move. Yeah, they're not in range to take the town. Oh, you're still trying to work that out? Now, my biggest concern here is that he will walk into the city and then get surrounded by reinforcements. Of course, he'd still be able to move away because they would be just starting up their motors, but... So, focus and incendiary... not very impressive. Okay, how am I going to deal with that? Ippei can't quite catch up yet. And John isn't in attack range either. The good news is that they both move after Weisegger does. So I'm just going to have him recover in place when it's his turn. That plus the city recovery should be enough to keep him going a little bit. So who's going to take the bridge? That's the big thing. Anyone who goes to the river is going to be stuck for a while. John's going to be delayed for a while too because I just had him recover. Alright. You know what? I think that's a pretty good cliffhanger, don't you? We'll see how I resolve this next time.